So the Quartering actually tweeted about Ethan, and called out his grift, apparently.
I will tell you this. I think DA Talks working with Mark Brooks and Vickyverse and all these things, and War Campaign, working with the Quartering, which is going on right now, is out of line.
He thinks that everybody who doesn't like him and is criticizing him is working in coordination, except for us. I feel kind of fucking insulted. Like, you didn't mention us.
Yeah.
Maybe we haven't been covering him that much, but this was before my video came out yesterday too. So, did you see the Clipiverse thing too, man? Like, that guy sucks.
Oh, the thing with Mark Brooks?
Yeah.
I don't know the full details, but like, I don't know. Like, I know Mark Brooks was asking Vito for the name, and
I'll show you why.
Listen, normally I don't really support stuff like that, but like, I'm kind of like Mark Brooks. I'm kind of on his side, kind of on default until he proves otherwise. And
well, let me
because he's
give
a
you the
pretty
context.
cool dude. He's a pretty cool.
I'm gonna tell you why I am on his side, and because these guys are trolls. This is just the fucking the lamest cringe troll bullshit, and they're doing it to him the way they did it to fucking Eric July. Like, okay, Clipiverse, like, you want to troll Eric July, that makes a lot of sense because that guy's a shithead and he's not a real comics creator. You're gonna fucking troll Mark Brooks? Get the fuck out of here, dude. What the fuck are you doing? But like, so then he's doing that because he's a fan of Ethan's, and Ethan and Mark Brooks, they have beef and whatnot.
Yeah.
But so do you remember whenever
Mark Brooks is way better than Ethan, by the way?
Dude, it's fucking way, way better. Have you seen his Disney-fied character X-Men he's been doing?
Yeah, no, they're great.
It's amazing. So a couple of years ago at Comic-Con, Gabe Eltabe, leading up to it, Gabe Eltabe was whenever he was just now they were still working on Isom, I guess. He was saying that he was going to wanted to meet up with Mark Brooks at the con, and essentially said that, he was indicating he wanted to fight him. And Mark Brooks is like, no, and he kind of told him, I don't want to meet up with you. Mark was still being relatively professional, publicly about it and stuff. He did lose his professional composure at one point later on. But anyway, Gabe was going around like filming himself, taking pictures of himself, saying, Marky, where's Marky? Like looking for him, even though he should know where he is, because Mark sits there at a booth with a big giant, promotional banner of his art all weekend.
Well, you say that, but it's not like his name is written anywhere around that booth.
Yeah, I mean, right. So, okay, so he was doing that, and then Mark actually had to call some he went to, I guess, security, like the con, and they assigned 2 plainclothes police officers to stand around and basically keep an eye on him, because he was there with his family. I've met his family. His wife's an amazing lady. He had his kids there with him. That's fucking scary, man. If there's a guy going around, essentially indicating he wants to fight you, and there's some kind of violent thing he wants to do, because he doesn't have any stake in being at the con other than that. Whereas Mark, on the other hand, has a bunch of people who want to meet him and get shit signed.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that context in mind, now Clipiverse has been kind of trying to do the same thing. But like, he's clearly doing it in a trolling way. But look, man, you can't expect somebody like fucking Mark Brooks, who doesn't exist in this world of bullshit, to know the difference, or to even if he does recognize this might be a troll. Like, okay, so here's Pulling Up on Mark Brooks, part 1. He dressed like Ethan Van Sciver or something.
I'm Evil Van Sciver. Repulsive, retarded, reactive, and yet prideful. Great big Disney Star Wars fan still, and not a trusted member of the media. I'm here at C2E2, the comic book event that would not allow Comicsgate to attend. And I have 4,000 bunny stickers.
Now, to clarify, they would have allowed anybody from Comicsgate, almost pretty much anybody, to attend. They just wouldn't allow Ethan to attend. And since you guys have somehow let Ethan become Comicsgate, I guess there is technically true.
Yeah. I will be doing vandalism and filming it as evidence and proof in the upcoming trial against me, Evil Van Sciver, for the crimes that I am committing. I'm a big Comicsgate guy. I'm giving bunnies out. Would you like a bunny sticker? Sure. For Comicsgate. There you go. Bunny sticker for Comicsgate. Disney
Parents David.
No. I guess Mark Brooks isn't that famous. Kind of a shy bunny. There you go. Thank you. Hail Comicsgate. Hey again, it's me, Evil Van Skyver. I came to check out my buddy Alyssa Wong's table, but see you tomorrow. I guess I can't buy these comic books today. I'm gonna have to leave a bunny sticker, but I'm leaving a crybaby bunny sticker because these comics were not available to buy. Do you think that's reasonable, sir?
Yeah, I think that's an absolutely brilliant choice.
That's a brilliant decision.
Very good.
So I mean, like all of this stuff is like whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
You know, none of this seems any kind of. I mean, like the thing is they do this type of stuff, and if you're in and on the know, if you're in the know of like why did he choose Alyssa Wong in particular? Well, because Alyssa Wong is a Asian American, I think maybe non-binary person who wrote Deadpool for a while. It's actually a pretty good run on Deadpool, actually. And so, you know, they definitely have talked a bunch of shit on them and stuff. And so then, whenever they go, oh, I'm going to go see Alyssa Wong, you know, there's like this wink, wink, wink to the fucking Comicsgaters. And even though he's not actually doing anything, because, you know, they're essentially functionally cowards. And thankfully he wouldn't do anything anyway. But like, what is this? You know what I mean? It's just to entertain their fucking audience. It's like, make comic books, guys. Like, anyway. So this is how
does
I
Comicsgate make comic books?
That's what I heard at one point. Maybe they were going to or something like that.
That's news to me. I haven't heard of that.
I think they might have fallen off on that goal.
No. You don't have to do that.
So let's see. Hollering for Mark Brooks. Now, with the context of what I told you all about, you know, a Gabe Eltabe, and if you're Mark Brooks, how are you going to receive this? You know, he doesn't know this guy.
No.
Mark Brooks is not here. How dare he be not here when I'm here looking for him?
By the way, sidebar, we need to look at this image from Tony's comic book. It is bad.
Tony, it seems familiar. I heard Tony was doing a comic book.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be great.
I mean, that's what I thought it was, but it turns out it's actually looks more like a coloring book.
Ooh,
like a really shitty kids coloring book.
What the hell?
The closer you get to it, the worse it is. Like, look at these frogs, man. Look at these hands, dude. Like, I haven't drawn really in like 20 years, and I could bust out some hands way better than that right now. I don't know if he's the artist, if Tony is or not, but like whoever this is, you're not a professional artist. You're not to a level where you should ask for money for art.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You're just not. Like this shit all up here looks like legit like a coloring book shit. You know, it's just like drawing the same exact little, you know, pattern over and over and over again and over and again. It's like, look, what is this? It's a frog, I guess, but it just looks like shit.
Frog's gonna just be the theme of this book.
It's called the what is it? The dumbass frog shit or something. Like it's some kind of just, you know, Ethan, please pay attention to me. I like frogs too kind of comic book.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
what I gather from it.
This is where Mark Brooks would be if Mark Brooks were here.
And the thing is, imagine David Finch already. Yeah, David Finch is a nice guy. Imagine being a comic skater. Like, there's probably comic skaters watch this moment and they're laughing their asses off.
Yeah, they would.
Because like they're so fucking just lost in the sauce of this bullshit that the content and the narratives and stuff like that like.
Oh, we went to Alyssa Wong. This is what we get today. We get the disappointment of this.
Well, back to
we came all the way to Chicago and we get to see an empty table of Alyssa Wong. We don't get to meet Mark Brooks because Mark Brooks is a pussy and he's hiding. But I'm still gonna come.
There you go, and and there's the language. There it is.
Yeah.
That's the shit that you fucked up with, man. Like, I mean, maybe there maybe you could be like, if you're doing I'm a big super fan for Mark Brooks and you're trolling him that way, maybe he wouldn't have any reason to be like, oh, what the fuck is going on, and be concerned. But then you fucking say shit like this and you expect people not to fucking take it seriously.
Yeah, no, like that escalated quickly. Like he's calling him pussy, and it's like, just because he's not at the table, there's
I'm gonna come for you. Like, what the fuck?
A billion reasons why these guys aren't at the table. Are they doing a panel? Are they even fucking scheduled that day? Are they maybe just taking a shit? Are they on a break? There's billions of reasons they aren't at the table at the cons 24/7.
But the reason he's saying this stuff is specifically because it's exactly what Gabe Eltabe was saying 2 years ago.
No,
at a situation, mind you, that he had to get the police involved with. Like, fuck, dude. And then they're like, and I was where I downloaded one of these clips that I have from this shit of another channel that was covering it. Like, they're in the comments like, oh wow, Mark Brooks is fucking unhinged, and like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? And it's like, I can't tell if they actually think that.
He's not.
If they, well, it's another video that I guess he isn't, or they started talking about the Twitter thing at that point. Now, because this is what Comicsgate has always done. It's just troll behavior in general, but like Comicsgate is just really fucking shitty about it. They push people into reacting in some way, and then they make the reaction the focus, and the reaction is just like, oh God, So now Mark Brooks asking, demanding from Vito. I saw it, he's like, no, if you want to give me his, do the right thing, give me his information, blah, blah, blah. Now they're acting like that's some kind of terrible fucking breach of ethics or being a good dude or something like that. And they ignore everything that led up to it. They ignore all this shit. They ignore,
Mark Brooks has experience with Comicsgate, and some of the shit that Ethan has said about him is truly fucking disgusting.
I don't want pedophiles to target our children, I wouldn't mind if they target Mark Brooks's children.
So it makes sense from being much more on edge about this stuff.
So Mark Brooks has done one thing that they use against him, and I'm not saying that they are right to, but I'm saying that he kind of gave it to them. Mark did. Maybe a couple of years ago now, there was a moment where they had they managed to troll him, I guess, or trick him into getting onto a little podcast. It was after he'd done my show. So I think he was kind of like getting, in his mind, he was probably going to go around on these smaller, channels that fans and stuff and kind of talk stuff. I don't think he realized this channel was actually Comicsgate that he went on, because it wasn't clear to me anyway. And then Ethan got on the podcast with him after he was on, not anticipating Ethan being there. Right. And it kind of, they talked for a while. They ended up, I guess, debating or whatever. And it kind of escalated a little bit.
Hi guys, it's Lathan here. I woke up this morning to something rather bizarre. Yesterday evening, I had posted a link to a video of Riley, aka Young Clipper, doing a bit at C2E2, which he called Pulling Up on Mark Brooks.
I'm Evil Dan Skyver.
I have a small account, and the algorithm penalizes external links. It is what it is. But to my surprise, when I checked my account this morning, I saw that I had a response from and got quoted by Mark Brooks. Yes, the dread duck pirate Mark Brooks. The I'm going to beat you up at a convention Mark Brooks.
You, Gabe, Shane, John, if you want to come see me in person, come.
So, once again, this is after the Gabe Eltabe thing. This was after, in this conversation, they were talking about, like, how he felt threatened and that there was all this insinuation of physical assault and stuff like that. And then Ethan, being Ethan and a troll, kind of got, I guess, riled him up. And it got to this point where he said this.
You want to come see me in person? Come see me. I'm going to assume if you're standing in front of me that I'm going to take all this weight I've gained and beat your fucking ass.
I am known for my good sense of humor. Mark Brooks.
Yeah, it definitely strikes me that he's that moment is probably not really intended, but like these guys will like code threaten you. I know more than most. They will code threaten you, and then they
code threaten. Yeah.
Just throwing this out there before we get started. Any event that I happen to be at one of those, and you happen to be there as well. let's just make sure that we link up and we kind of chop it up about kind of some of those comments. So you fat, out of shape, and you white. If I were you, considering that you ain't built for that level of action, I would not advise.
What is that a threat?
Never done anything athletic, and he talking sideways. Like I said, like he's got to see me anyway. Don't let me go to a con and his motherfucking ass is there. He has to see me. We already know you can't whoop my ass.
And then I forgot about this guy. I saw this the other day. This guy took a picture. That's actually what I guess Mark over his shoulder. He'd taken it like this basically because Mark was behind him, and like that's fucking weird, man. It's You're at a con. If you want to take a picture of Mark Brooks, take a picture of him where he fucking sees that you're doing it. You know what I mean? Don't do this weird shit. And you're wearing an all caps thing, of course. So like, these people are fucking weird, man. Like you guys are so lost in the sauce, dude. You don't realize that you seem unhinged. And I have a pretty good sense of humor. I can even see that with amongst yourselves, this probably is fucking hilarious. If I was lost in the sauce, I'd be fucking laughing too, man. But like most people, and that's what they get off. That's what they get off on about it is like, oh, the normies, and we're making the normies cringe and act stupid, and ho ho ho, we're the only ones in the know. We're having a good time, and they're taking it seriously. And it's like, well, man, it's only jokes until it's not jokes anymore. And so, like, a reasonable person is going to take some degree of seriousness to these things. Whenever you see certain things said, you see violent language used, rhetoric used in Comicsgate circles and stuff like that. They're just generally known as being a hateful bunch of fuckers. There's a long documented history of harassment campaigns with Comicsgate. It's I don't know. Fuck them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Like, I understand how they can get under your skin, how they can, essentially be like, hey, let's go to a con and chop it up. They will say shit like that. And the whole goal is to get under your skin. And they got under his skin because he's a fucking human being.
There's a thing called pattern, guys. And these guys seem to struggle with understanding what a pattern is and what it, how you use one of those, what you can just determine based off patterns. Anyway, yeah, this is fucking weird.
People like this want to ruin it for all of us because their lives are sad and vacant.
That's true.
I don't have time for stupid bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure how he was even aware of my post, but needless to say, by reposting it, he gave it a massive boost.
Okay, and
so now everyone.
So I happened to tune into stream the other night when Vito was on the trash. I guess it was Trashcast or whatever, fucking Ethan's stream. And right whenever I tuned in, Vito, they were talking about this shit, and they were talking about how Mark, by demanding that dude on Twitter's name the way that he was from Vito, Vito was just like, look, man, you don't want to, you don't want to do this because he's trying to get a reaction out of you, and you're doing the exact wrong thing as a reaction to this. And it's like, that pisses me off so much, man, because you are people who are creating a fucking scenario, and then because someone doesn't react the exact appropriate way to this fucking stupid scenario that you've created, it's their fucking fault. Fuck you, you fucking idiot, Vito, you goddamn moron. You're fucking coward ass bitch ass fucking pussy, dude. Sorry.
No, that is one of those things that it's good to try to avoid, because even though I was just saying, hey, Mark shouldn't have done that, like it's one of those things where it's like, it's understandable. He's a human being, and these guys know how to push your buttons. It's just all this.
You got to think about the mentality of a group of people who their goal is to, to incite you, to provoke you into doing something that a normal person might do and then regret immediately because people are fucking, normal people. Most people don't go around trying to get that kind of reaction out of people. It actually, there's probably some type of fucking psychological name for a person that does that type of thing.
It also led to a bizarre exchange with Vito, in which Mark Brooks keeps pressing Vito to reveal Riley's full name, even though Vito repeatedly states that he doesn't have it. The whole exchange is oozing with manipulative language, and Mark keeps accusing Vito of putting internet clout.
Oozing with manipulative language? After what we've been seeing them fucking do, man, these people are... Wow. I mean, luckily, really the only people that I think fall for this kind of shit are people that are already on board with them. But it really pisses me off, because this is how they treat a guy who's, you know, actually doing work in the industry and getting paid really well for it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Comicsgate. I mean, all these guys are the same. Essentially, they're there to push your buttons, and then occasionally, if they get you to respond in any way that's a little bit hostile.
You know how he was going around saying "Hail Comicsgate," right?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Hail Comicsgate.
Because like if somebody says "Hail Comicsgate" back, well, oh look, now we got this guy. He's Comicsgate. They do that on the internet. They've done it for years. That's how they typically identify an enemy, or their perceived enemy, because they'll say, oh, so and so is Comicsgate, and then that person will be like, fuck no, I'm not. Comicsgate's a fucking hate group. And then they'll go, oh, Comicsgate's a hate group now. And then, you know, so now Ethan's got a new enemy, and he's got a new target that they're going to attack and shit like that. That's what happened with Donnie Cates, I believe. More or less probably what happened with Mark Brooks and others. You know, they've been doing the same tactics for years now. And in one of those tactics is just not putting comic books out.
Yeah.
It's like, guys, really, it's time to just, you know, decide whether you're actually comic book fans and creators or not. Because what most people see, and what I see as someone who is more familiar with Comicsgate than the average outsider, even whenever I like on a regular basis, all I see is just this internal fucking drama bullshit that is impenetrable to anybody that is on the outside of it, and then just also not something you'd want to penetrate, even. You know what I mean? And it gets grosser and grosser, and I know they all feel entertained. I know they all feel like they're doing something that special and that matters, I guess. Or maybe they're so nihilistic that they don't care, and they realize that all of it is a joke. And that, you know, I don't know. I can't imagine what it's like to be a comic skater, as you said. But, you know, time to stop. You know, it's over. Comicsgate's been dead for quite a while now, actually. There's a reason that the Rippaverse was the Rippaverse and not Comicsgate.
Yeah.
Because Eric July, for all the fucking, you know, many faults that he has, and we've named him off quite a few times, he was clever enough to realize that Comicsgate is a fucking tainted, dead brand. You know, and Ethan is the only guy who, like, he both exists where he like knows that it's the only thing that keeps his any power, social power that he has, is under that banner of Comicsgate. But he also knows that it's fucking tainted too, and that he can't ever just like step into the mainstream. You know, and
listen, Eric's Rippaverse has terrible, terrible books, but they actually do release books, which is not Comicsgate norm at all.
Yep, it is a joke, man. All right, enough Comicsgate bullshit. That was cathartic. I catharted again. I don't know if you heard the end of my video, but I was like, oh, that was cathartic. And then I catharted. And in an actual live stream, I went on about that for another couple of minutes until it was a completely dead joke.
Well, what's the point of doing a joke if you can't completely kill it?
Just run it right into the fucking ground.
Yeah. You want it just fucking ground to dust.
Oh, wait, there's more here? Oh, no. Okay, so you want his legal name? I do. I've never asked anyone to be removed or banned from a show I'm attending, but his behavior and his gun pics in his video closing have me concerned. He does not belong in the general comic-loving public. Let him act like a school shooter far away from the rest of us. Hearing the way Vito was talking about this exchange versus how he's talking to him right here, is acting like he's being cordial right here on Twitter, and then he goes on to Ethan's stream and just like, oh, yeah, you don't want to do that. That's the worst thing you can do. Why didn't you say that? You should have said that here. You know? But he didn't.
Away from the rest of us. Mark, the closing in Riley's video. I guess it could also refer to this old gem here, but I doubt that Mark has ever seen it. Either way, we're talking about scary stuff, of course. Somehow Mark is putting the responsibility for finding Riley's full legal name on Vito. And him claiming that he doesn't have the name somehow makes Vito stupid, a liar, or of questionable morals. Put your morals over your...
Real quick, the reason he was talking to Vito is I assume he has somewhat of a relationship with Vito, not Dick Masterson, who Riley used to work for, and Dick Masterson would have the information. And Dick Masterson and Vito work very closely together as they do a podcast together right now.
And then also, now Vito is very, friendly with Ethan Van Sciver, and Ethan Van Sciver is clearly, a figurehead of Comicsgate, and Riley, it seems like, is a big fan of his. Do you want me to break into Dick's house and look for pay stubs?
Oh my God.
Put your morals over your lust for clout and money. Be a good person. Yeah, you're talking to Vito there, Mark Brooks. Sorry, I don't really think that's the thing he does. And then he ended up getting... Okay, so DA Talks. I don't know if DA Talks was trolling him or not. This is where I got confused because the picture he got, it didn't look like him. The picture that DA Talks shared did not look like Riley to me. It looked about like 1/3 of Riley.
He's suddenly all polite again. It's all good. I got what I needed. Thanks. In addition, a Good Samaritan comes along and volunteers Riley's name as well as a childhood picture. How very helpful.
Oh.
Mark seems to have gotten the same info from somewhere else and restates the name. Not only that, but he also retweets the name and picture for everyone to see. Now, it's one thing to want the name so he can inform security or law enforcement if that's really what he wants to do. It's quite another to put it out there for everyone else, though. I don't know if this qualifies as doxing. I don't know if the information was already public, but I do consider this to be of, well, questionable morals.
What?
It's a great...
This fucking guy... That's questionable morals.
Yes.
Jesus Christ, man.
Mark Brooks. Adorable. He, him. Feels threatened by bunny stickers and a toy gun. So he decides to share personal information of a...
all right, so this Lathan or whatever the fuck his name is this little channel, like, you're a disingenuous liar, man. You're lying.
Yeah,
that's not why he felt threatened. We already explained all that here, and I know that you are probably fully aware of all that information too. And so the fact that you are omitting that and not including that in the lead up to all this shows that you are creating a fucking bullshit Comicsgate narrative, and you're hoping that it can break outside of the bubble and like make people think that, oh, this Mark Brooks, this Marvel artist, is just, he's insane. Look how mean he's got bad morals. He's sharing the name of someone that two people have already put out, at least two people, and they got it pretty easily. So like, it's not doxing. You need to know what doxing is, and then if it's not doxing, what is questionable about it? Sharing a person's name. You've shared Mark Brooks's name here. Like, just they fucking act like such dainty little bitches over every little thing and try to paint it as like this massive ethical moral fucking failing. No, you guys are the fucking morally bankrupt ones. That's it. Hope you enjoyed this clip from the Shillcast. Right now you're seeing them on my channel, Actual Fandom, but soon you're gonna be able to find them on the SHILL CLIPS channel. That's what that represents back there. Yeah, we're about to hit 2,000 subscribers over there, so please head over there and push us over that line. And thanks. Do you have anything you want to say?
Fucking pronoun.